Here we are.
Hey!
Hi, everybody.
I was just reading the incredibly lovely greeting from Julie Turner.
Oh, yeah. That was good. We got to talk about that.
I'm going to put it on the screen.
All right. Speaking of Julie, let's say hello to people. Hi, Julie. Hi, Bobby. Hi, Nicole. Hi, Steve. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Vicky. Hi, Jim. Hi, Brittany. Oh, my God. Where's the scrolly thing? Hi, Brandy. Hi, Emily. Hi, Nikki. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Katie. Hi, Jennifer, Carolyn, Jan, Joe, Judy, Spare, Vicky, Katie, Victoria, Justin, Matt, Kelly, Jeff. Oh, is that it? No. Brittany, Bobby, Don, Dan, Laura.
Oh, yes.
As
Stephanie.
they join.
Hello.
But
Hello.
here we are, finally, at long last, in all of the 12 plus months that we've been doing Literarily Wasted, because I can't count beyond a year. It is time for us finally to discuss the first half of Old Man's War. We had the opportunity to do it some month before that, and then we had another opportunity to do it in June, but y'all chose wrong.
What did we do instead of that? I can't even
We
remember.
did the first time
Second
we did
time.
Red Rising, wasn't it?
Oh, okay.
No.
Red Rising.
Was it?
Red Rising was January.
No,
Yeah,
it was
No, it was
we
something else.
just talked about
We
this.
just talked about this.
Let me look at the website.
Well,
Oh, look, my mom's here.
the second time was a
Hi.
Darker Shade of Magic.
Yeah, it was Darker Shade of Magic, which is a good book.
So
Good
yeah,
book.
we can't complain about that one.
Nope.
Oh, I don't remember. Let's see.
It was it was like sci-fi month or something.
It may have been
But
Red
anyway,
Rising.
we're
No, I don't
here.
know.
We're here now, and I am happy to
The
be.
Night Circus.
Is
It
the
was the
Night-
Night Circus.
Night
Oh.
Yeah, y'all chose wrong that one.
Okay. So anyway, we're here to talk about Old Man's War by
Up
John
to
Scalzi.
chapter 10.
Yes, up to chapter 10.
This was a great stopping
Mark by
point
Will
too,
Donna.
Christy.
It
Like, I
was.
don't know if you arbitrarily did it or if you whoever chose it. It was a great
It's
stopping
the
point.
only time. And the only reason is because I actually already had the book and I said, this looks like the middle. Oh, look, it's chapter 10.
It was a good stopping point.
Yeah.
It was
So
not smart.
I know a lot of people kept going.
Thank you, Henry.
A lot of people read the whole book. A lot of people read more than one book.
I was about to say.
I think
For
Joe
everyone-
read the whole series.
Yeah, for everyone who got super interested, because everyone was talking about it in the group about how interested they are, I did go ahead and go to the Amazon store and I did add book 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6. That's right, there's 6 of them. I added 2 through 6 to the Book of the Month plus series category. So it is on there. Yes, I did as well. Let's not
I
talk
also
about it.
did
Let's
too. Yeah,
not
no
talk about
I
spoilers.
didn't because
We're
I
not
was
gonna
on
No
the audio
spoilers,
book.
but I also
then-
did that.
Yes, but we're not going to talk about it. And it's
Even though it
fine.
was on a completely separate page. I shouldn't
It
have known.
was. Your eyes, they're not trustworthy. They just dart right over there.
So before we get into this discussion, do we want to have a recap?
We do, because a lot of people kept going.
Yeah, let's figure out where we're supposed to
No
start.
spoilers.
Yes. So John Perry enlists in the Colonial Defense Forces
75-year-old John.
when he turns 75. He goes into space, meets a bunch of cool people, and they form the group The Old Farts. It's a bunch of people. It's like 7. All of the 75-year-olds get transplanted into 20-year-old green, new, and improved bodies. They all get a week to do whatever they want, and they go crazy and have lots of sex. The old farts get separated, and John and Alan join the new group for some brutal training. After training, John and Alan get transferred to their new platoon and engage in their first battle with the Kansu. John is the hero of the day for being the first to think of and share a shooting technique that takes them all down.
The old double shot.
Yeah,
So
so
1, 2.
that pretty
Rico's
much covers
Projects.
everything.
So it's funny that you should mention that, Lucas, because
What?
I'm getting some major Starship Troopers vibes.
Well, I'm getting a bunch of vibes, and I love all of it.
Don't
Oh,
feel
no,
no,
I'm-
nice now.
If
Yeah,
you
I'm
have not
excited.
seen Starship Troopers, you owe it to yourself to watch Starship Troopers.
Oh, yes. And we got to say, today's Veterans Day. So it's
Happy
very-
Veterans Day, everybody. And I know we have some veterans in our group, so thank you all for your service to all of our loved ones and friends. Around the world.
And family, because
Yeah,
we call you the Lit Fam for a reason.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Justin, for the
Fam
reminder.
stands
We
for
didn't
family.
plan it to land on Veterans Day, but how appropriate that it did so.
Yeah.
But yeah. So how do we want to? I mean, you start talking about Starship Trooper vibes. but-
I'm pretty sure that Adam is the one that should start this because he chose the book.
Yeah, are you disappointed?
I hate this book. I'm just kidding. Wouldn't that be funny if that happened?
Yes, it'd be hilarious.
But I am thoroughly enjoying this book so far. It hits all of my it just gets me. John Scalzi's like gets me, and it's it's a fun read. People describe it as a popcorn book. I would agree with that. It's got some popcorn, but it's it's also got some stuff to think about. It's very funny, and I'm enjoying the humor. I did see a comment. Somebody said that the witty banter between the old farts became a little much, and I can see that. I can actually see like I can agree with you there that it's like okay, we're a little too witty here, but
I hope I'm that witty when I'm that old.
But yeah, no,
I'm
I mean
not that witty now.
old people are hilarious, but so far like I'm really digging it. I'm into the I wasn't quite sure like since it's called Old Man's War, I was thinking, well, are they going to be old the whole time? I got the answer to that. I'm not disappointed.
There are a lot of people that are,
but I can see I can see myself having a twinge of disappointment that we don't see like old people fighting. It's like, oh, these are just old people, and then they made them super hot and young and strong.
It's like Wrinkly Fight Club.
Yeah. So they got out of that, and my hope is that the fact that they do have 75 years worth of life experience will still play a factor in what happens, and that we don't just get sort of generic like soldiers fighting an intergalactic battle. Although I'm okay with that too. But
oops,
that's a good comment though. I would love to see Gary Oldman fighting in a war, or
Gary Oldman can do anything.
Yeah, or like Leslie Jordan or whatever. Like get them out on the battlefield, see what happens.
Leslie Nielsen.
Leslie Nielsen, yeah.
I was about to say, is that the little one?
Yeah, he's the guy that's been on all viral and stuff.
Yes, thank you. Okay, continue.
But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I had a hard time sort of remembering who was who at first of the old farts because they introduced a lot of people all at once, and Christy said the same. You said the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
In short, I'm enjoying it. Next,
Christy, go.
I'm loving it too. I think so far there's very few things that I have complaints about. I think they did introduce a ton of people at the beginning for a very short period of time just for them to all be separated. But I mean, they created that group, the old farts, to like continue talking. So hopefully that plays a part in the future. And
yeah, thanks. Exactly, y'all.
And I also am conflicted about them getting new bodies because like the whole series is called Old Man's War. So I feel like they've got to continue the old man vibe throughout the series. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, they need to all be like, it was reminded like in Kill the Farm Boy when they like what's her face, the sandwich was like aging and she found herself like needing to go to bed at 5 and eat the early bird specials. Like that was hilarious to me.
Yeah. So what y'all think?
Can I go?
Yeah.
Okay. So I will admit because I do this every month, I didn't start until I read it yesterday. Only the first half, no spoilers. But because of that, I think reading everybody's comments in the lounge boosted my expectations. So I went in, I don't think that was doing myself a favor because I immediately started it being like, oh, now I know it's going to be really funny and amazing. And for me, it didn't start out, it didn't grab me hard enough. But that being said, such a relief to read something so easily written. This is written in like the most simple of language, which after last month was very kind to my brain.
Yeah.
Also went into this with like just wrong expectations, period. I'll admit I judged a book by its cover and I thought that this was going to be like legit old school traditional sci-fi and like honestly kind of like boring to me, but I'm having a super fun time. It did take up until the Avatar moment for it to like avidly grab my attention, but I was like enjoying reading it the whole time. And then as soon as all the change started happening, like reading the pamphlet about the new body, I was like, oh shit, this is really fun and funny. And I am super enjoying it. It is definitely not what I expected. It's immediately clicked into my brain though as Avatar. Like that's all I keep picturing is like this old man brain and, you know, like just wobbling around when he jumps off the table with the new legs. Anyways, but no, I'm having a fun time. I will say I don't know for sure at this point if I'm going to continue. I'm very interested to see what happens at the end of the book. Yeah, no,
The
I mean the
series.
series. Oh my gosh, no, very excited to continue reading, but I'm just like honestly more curious about like what's going to happen that's going to make me want to read this for 5 more books. So yeah, but I agree with I can tolerate them not being old men anymore as long as that continues to be a theme. I feel the same way as y'all, where that needs to still somehow be tied in. The fact that the brains or consciousness is old. I need that, I think. But no, I'm pleased. It's fun.
Yeah, I think like Adam, this is hitting all of my buttons. I was not expecting the comedy at all. And I mean, I told Talia, and she even caught me like a couple times, just literally, guffaws and lulls. And yeah, it's funny, and I loved the BrainPal setup, and like it's basically like the infomercial, and BrainPal TM and he does a really good job in the audiobook differentiating that. But yeah, I guess the easiness of getting rid of the old people didn't bother me as much. I was like, okay, that's cool. And now they're just slamming, and game on. So no, I'm digging the story. I'm really interested to see where he goes with the world building, because I can tell that there's going to be some really cool things. I thought the aliens were a really interesting take with their whole war ritual, and the guy's like, I can pick him off now. He's like, no, you idiot! Like if we do this, they have to start over. We don't want to do that. So I'm just really interested to see where it goes. It's a little early for me to tell like where I would kind of put it in our queue of books that we've read, but right now it's kind of pinging pretty high for me. It definitely, like, I really enjoyed Red Rising. I think I may enjoy this better up to the half point than I did with the first Red Rising, but I really enjoyed Red Rising, but that takes itself pretty seriously, and this seems like a little bit lighter take on similar premise kind of to a degree, except these are, instead of the golds, we have the greens. But yeah, I'm here for this one. This is good.
I agree with Casey. I just want to say I really thought that was what was going to set off the Master Sergeant, but that's fine.
So I think so far it's already happened where we have 2 big questions that everyone wants everyone else to answer. The first one is, if you could enlist, would you do it?
See,
yeah, after reading that, hell yeah.
See, I know that everyone wants to know, and this was a big question, but the whole point is that we can't. We don't know yet. Everything that they talk about is that you don't know until you're that age, right? You always, as a younger person, I can say this, I can't speak for anybody else, but at this point in my life, no. But ask me again when I'm 65. I don't know.
As somebody who feels like they're 65 already,
Well, that's different.
I would gladly trade this body for a green able one.
Well, that's true. You do have back problems.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would likely enlist, just because you don't know, like you said, but I think the allure, and I think somebody, maybe it was Justin, said it, Earth's kind of mundane. There's not a lot going on, and like there's excitement out there.
I'm part Asian. The likelihood of me living to 105 is kind of huge.
Yeah, but then you could be green. You don't know that, but no, I would most likely enlist, and I think our protagonist had a kind of a perfect setup, right? It was a little easy for him. His wife had passed away. He didn't have grandkids. His son was a bachelor. So it's like, what else is he going to do?
He's not a
He
bachelor.
did have a grandkid.
He married. He mentioned something about a bachelor, but then he did, but he didn't have grandkids. So it's kind of like, look, it's time, for him. And so I think it's a good setup for him personally. So
yeah, so Dan brings up a good
excellent
point. I'm saying this as somebody who read the book and knew, got to know, like, not knowing. I've expressed my disappointment that I will not live to see like meaningful space travel or anything like that. Probably, like the Enterprise. We'll never have that. So yeah, I'd sign up.
Don't say never.
I'd
Because
love to
last
get
year
out.
we had no idea this year was coming.
this year was not the right direction.
We might be
for,
jettisoning
out of the
the
house.
planet Earth.
But yeah, I would like the idea of like seeing what's out there is appealing to me. And if I got to, to be 75 and like, things are winding down, sure. Why not? Well, you didn't answer it.
Yeah, I think so y'all are saying that after reading it, yes, of course everyone's going to want to, which clearly that's not the case here, but I don't know, knowing what they knew before they enlisted, maybe if I was 75, like I'm assuming, like, especially like seeing my grandparents, like you don't have the same kind of life, and this gives you an opportunity. And they knew that they had to there's something to do with their bodies that was going to make them be able to like be worth it for the military. And they knew that like after their service, they would be able to like help colonize someplace. So I think for that opportunity, maybe. But after reading it, that's where it gets kind of weird for me, because like after 10 years, and they said, we're going to keep you for 10 years, basically. You're guaranteed 2, but we're keeping you for 10. 75% of them are dead.
Mhm.
Like that was the drill sergeant's breakdown. I wrote it down because I found it really interesting, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Like-
going to die anyways, just in which body?
Yeah. So I don't know. I could go either way. Like, I guess I need to be older.
You didn't know that
for it.
though. You didn't know that until like if we go back to what Dan was saying.
No, I know. I'm saying like if I only knew what they knew when they enlisted, really good chance that I would. But if I knew what I know now, I still don't know, because it's like you have a 25% chance of surviving.
Even if you die, you're basically saying, all right, even if you die in the first year or so, you're basically paying to have a really fun week before you die.
And
maybe if
they
the
all-
enlistment age was 85, I would feel more inclined. But to me, 75 doesn't seem old enough for me to say goodbye to everything right away. all at once.
But they all had problems. Like they had ailments that weren't
They didn't
detected
know.
yet. But that's the thing. Like, you
Well,
know,
that's convenient.
who says that
Convenient story.
that they all would have even lasted?
I know
that
plenty
long,
of
so
75-year-olds that are doing just fine.
I'd go with you.
To
We
Justin's
wouldn't
point,
get to go together though. That's the thing. You're older than me, so
Good
you
for
would
you.
die way before me.
Would survive.
so to Justin's point, I don't think they felt synthetic, but I do think they probably felt alien, or at least that's the impression I got when reading it.
But I love, like, you know, whether or not I would enlist or not, like, I am fascinated by these technologies that they have, like Smart Blood,
Mhm.
BrainPal.
Ooh, the chlorophyll is so smart.
Yeah.
Because then you're
Like-
running off your own oxygen and carbon dioxide in a circular, never-ending, amazing breathing cycle.
And I love the fact that when he's going through like the brochure or whatever, and it's like, yeah, you can find, you know, there you have, I'm sure you have some questions about the religious implications of this. But, you know, you might want to hunt down like a clergy of your particular brand.
Well, they're available through your PDA or whatever. So that actually goes into what Katie Dahl asked in the discussion topics post. She said, "What is your favorite modification to their new bodies?" Personally, she likes the chlorophyll in the skin.
And I would say BrainPal.
Yeah,
BrainPal's pretty cool.
BrainPal seems great.
BrainPal's
Pretty awesome.
And the fact that it can like just learn your brain patterns and figure out what you need
Mhm.
before you even realize what you need.
It's like what Barclay did to the computer in that Star Trek: The Next Generation episode.
There
There
it
it is,
is.
everybody, drink.
Well, there's the
What?
first one.
Yep. But you can't not talk about Star Trek.
This is a slight detour. I promise to get back to it, but I do think just the psychology of all of it is very interesting. Like when they talk about the reason why their bodies are so attractive, why they've been made more attractive, is so that they learn to love this new form that they've been given immediately, and so that they can bond with others. Like,
And trust each other.
yeah,
That's just a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
You got to trust everybody when, you know, they're in charge of possibly saving your life. It's like when
Bobby's
you're immediately put in life and
skewing
death
the facts
situations.
here. So Scalzi's he's on the right track, and you know, like to go into that tangent, like I was really happy that he went there. Like, you know, I mean, we're reading about like old people made young and now like having a bunch of sex, but like, come on, like it's like, you know, 7 seasons of Star Trek, and never did they like admit like what people do in that holodeck for real. Like,
There's your Tooth reference.
Yep. The Tooth
I agree
reference.
with Vicky. Break out the cleaning wipes. That entire base has to be very not great. I would not want to be in charge of cleaning that place everywhere. Because you said they weren't even in their own rooms.
Oh,
You're
this
like,
is a good one too.
you have to be like
Yeah.
really loud while
yeah.
you're walking down the hallway.
Underrated. Only needing 2 hours of sleep.
But I love sleep, but at the
I
same
like
time,
it.
like to be able to really take advantage of that. Someone had mentioned the eyesight too. I think that was Adrienne. That's
Mhm.
cool. I don't know if I have one. I think just the whole-
smart blood. The fact that if someone cuts off your arm, it immediately clots so you don't bleed out to death
Mhm.
because your body's full of nanobots, which is also really creepy and scary, but that's besides the point.
Yeah. So Julie being the conspiracy theorist, yeah, they're monitoring you.
Oh yeah, I can totally see that.
No, that's totally fair. And also, Matt mentioned it earlier. We're just trusting everything that the CDF is saying, that this is what's happening. I mean, and even what's his face, lead guy, alludes to that with the translation of the buggy dudes that you have to double shoot. That, you know, this war is not possibly not what it seems.
You had mentioned this, Talia.
Yeah.
Please comment.
So I don't count this as a spoiler because it's the name of the book. But when the racist dude dies, I don't remember his name. Yeah, when he kicks the bucket and the people come in and one of them says another early recruit for the Ghost Brigade or whatever, and then our lead guy was like, "That's rude joke." But the name of the second book is the Ghost Brigade. So
Spoiler alert.
it's not a spoiler. It's the name of the book. So, but like, was it a joke?
I got the impression they were just very desensitized to that. I mean, because like they're basically going to kill all these people anyways, or at least like dispose of the bodies. It's just one more with the soul still in it.
And the doctor even mentioned that like it happens, you know, probably happens a couple times per cycle, right? Every recruitment round, they're going to lose a couple.
Well, they did say it's not a loud green. It's a nice soft green.
Yeah, it's a decent green. You're not like a Ninja Turtle or anything. But like, I thought it was interesting that like after all of these advancements are made, and you know, like people are exploring their new bodies and like having superhuman abilities, and they have all this integrated technology, and it seems like, you know, like they can anticipate everything. You got this gun that can like think for you, basically. And then the guy's like, we're giving you the bare minimum to survive out here. Like that to me was like, oh God.
Well, but even the Kansu, they change, I guess, the weaponry and skills that they have based on like to match the skill set of the people that they're fighting. I thought that was really interesting.
That was an interesting culture in general.
Oh yeah, we need to talk about that.
And the foreshadowing there of like, John was like the only one that was like, this is weird to you. Don't you think that they think that they won here? Like, why is nobody thinking about this? And that like, there's going to be a huge reckoning later with that alien species.
The Kansu. Yeah, definitely. Lucas, is that how they pronounced it? Do you remember?
Kansu, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Does anyone think it's funny that we're the little green men?
Yes.
We're not
I was
little,
thinking
we're
that the
big.
whole time. It's like, you know, we talk about little green men from outer space, but then like we go to outer space and we're the little green men going to places.
I didn't even catch it until the comments in this, and then it like.
Really, were people saying that?
Well, I don't think anyone actually. I didn't see it if anyone said it, but they were mentioning it being green. I was like, oh, like Martians.
Yeah, I just thought that was kind of funny.
I do like how they play on our prejudice, though. Like when all the things like, here's this horrifying monster, and here's this pretty like deer, and they're like, which one's the monster? The deer one eats babies. By the
Oh
way,
my gosh, that was horrifying.
yeah, like
But
this
that
is a great
scene
lesson.
that scene kind of reminded me of Galaxy Quest. If anyone's seen that,
Yes,
I love
oh,
Galaxy
I've loved
Quest.
that
If you
movie.
haven't seen
Oh,
Galaxy
you all talk
Quest,
about Galaxy Quest.
you have to watch Galaxy Quest.
Sigourney Weaver in Galaxy Quest.
Also in Avatar. Is there a
Icon.
connection? Also in
Yes.
Ghostbusters. There it is.
Yeah.
Alien.
Grab Thor's hammer.
Also her and everything because she's incredible.
Yeah.
Also, this is very random. I just want to know, did anybody else, there's only one part that made me a little emotional. Obviously, there are a couple of things that like can incite an emotional response, but the only one that really made me be like, oh, was when he, why do I keep forgetting his name? John Thomas Perry?
John Perry.
John Perry.
Anyways, the lead dude, when he's freshly into green body and he goes to take his wedding band off, like the wedding band part isn't what got me. What got me is when at the moment right before when he said that he saw the old man version, he immediately switched to saying it's not mine. He immediately switched to saying it saw and closed its eyes. And then when he put his hands on his old body's face and said, thank you for everything, that got me.
Yeah, that was nice.
It was
Let me
nice.
go to my room and just sit down for a while. Oh,
Don't
God.
ruin it. Don't ruin it. Anyways.
Yeah, no, it was a nice
I didn't
Closure.
expect for that to get me, but it did.
I think I want to say that he handled that very well. The whole sequence, the whole process. Like they were saying, like, oh yeah, other guys pass out, and we just kind of had to transfer them. Like, I kind of wanted to see that, honestly. Like,
Yeah, freak out, vomit. I feel like that's normal.
he handled that whole. We're gonna transfer you to a new body, and being conscious in both places
In
at
two
once.
places, yeah, that was.
And he's just like, yeah, thanks.
We done?
And he was
Cool.
able to process like what his old body was at that time. Like very, it's a shell that contained his consciousness, and it was removed, and now it's just a thing. And he thanked it, and it was like, you handled that very well, John Perry. Is that the benefit of being a 75-year-old and having life experience?
I think it is. I think he's also just along for the ride, and especially since his wife is the one who suggested that they sign up in the first place. Like, I think he's just there and he's present.
Yeah. So it's a testament to John Scalzi in that he was able to, in the midst of all this chaos, give us that nice touching moment.
John Scalzi, who's not a super old dude. So I wonder how many super old people he talked to and if he like did research for this to see like from their vantage point how they would emotionally feel about certain situations.
It's a good question.
Yes, this is true. I agree. Lucas mentioned it before. I think our lead is very charming, and I'm finding that very nice to have such a likable, good guy.
Yeah, he's
as
like
our
Steve Rogers.
protagonist.
He's like
Let's
Steve Rogers.
Let's not jump right to
Well,
Captain
but you know what I
America.
mean.
No
Like
one can-
he's like a very likable grandpa that he's trying to crack. Like when he's enlisting, he's trying to crack jokes with the young lady who's
He's
like
just
enrolling
likable.
him, and he's like, I haven't been able to get you, and she cracks a super dry joke, and she's like, that was a joke. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. He seems like a very likable character, and I think that's with just how easy it reads. Like his character drew me in.
Woof.
Yeah, no, I've had that moment. Also, as someone who's had some major surgery. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting that state of mind.
Mm-hmm.
But it was what was I going to say? I was going to say
Jeff,
something.
you're not super old. I've seen you. When I say super old, I mean like super old.
I
like,
was going to say
you could hide your phone in your neck skin old.
like because I couldn't help doing this, and I don't know how many other people did, but it's a bit of compare and contrast here with Darrow from Red Rising, who is in not the same situation, but a similar situation in that he was
He got enhanced.
and then thrown into the unknown. And you were talking about how likable and charming this guy is, and I can't help but to think that, like, in Red Rising, Darrow was not.
I think he
as
was
much.
supposed to be, but
and we also talked about how Darrow. One thing we didn't like, or some people didn't like about Red Rising, was that Darrow just seemed to excel at everything
when he had no business excelling
too
at it.
easily. As an outsider who was enhanced, and John is doing a little bit of the same thing here with
John Perry.
Yeah, John.
Yeah, it's confusing. John and John.
I said John.
Yeah,
I meant John. When he's the squad leader, and he's just he's managing that really well. He only had really one moment where they were underwater where he was freaking out a little bit, but still he handled that pretty well. And then they get out on the battlefield, and he's the one that comes up with the firing solution, and he's gonna have dinner with the what's his face or whatever.
a drink with the yeah.
It's not bothering me as much as it did with Darrow for some reason, but it's still a little bit like he's adjusting a little too well.
I agree with that, but I do think that if we're keeping the comparison going, like John Perry had 75 years to like have this experience and this background to be able to do it, and he knows who he is, and also he was in advertising, and I feel like you have to be able to compromise and change quickly and evolve when like trying to please the customers and stuff. So like he has a life experience and background that kind of explains it for me. But the idea of him coming up with the 2-shot thing before anybody else on the squad did seem convenient. But
yeah, I mean, these guns are apparently like you can think what you want it to do, and it'll be like, I got you, buddy.
mm-hmm.
Which is awesome
and terrifying, especially if you have a bad temper. Side note, I did look it up. John Scalzi at this exact point in time is only 51 years old. And when this book was published, he was 36. So
Isn't that old?
It came out in 2005. So I'm going to assume that he probably wrote it in his early 30s. So yeah, I just want to know if he did old man research.
Maybe he's had 2 back surgeries.
Someone, the comment's way up there now, but someone said maybe he spent a lot of time in Florida.
It's true. Or in
So the second question that everybody wants to know is, what would you name your brain pal?
Oh man, I feel like. I mean, first of all, I gotta say that when they went down the list of what they all named their brain pals, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't know. You go. You say. What would you name yours?
The first thing that popped into my head to jump in is turd. A turd.
Sup, turd?
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
would your activation be sup? So it'd be like,
Sup,
sup, turd, what's up?
Oh, look, it's fair
Yeah,
being
but
sweet.
I want to know. Nope, not that one.
Talia, do you have one?
I think my activation phrase and name would be, what do you want, nosy? Because
Nosy.
you're in my brain. They're in your brain. They're in your brain. I can't be the only person who will admit that that's entirely convenient, but also extremely creepy. They stab things into your brain. And then they use it to suck out your brain and stick it in an alien body. What else do they know about me?
Does it only have to be one word?
Just a name, I think.
Daisy. That's
Oh,
good.
that's nice.
Darlin.
Y'all are nicer.
Brittany
than-
says, "Wow."
Creeper. That's what it'd be. Creeper. I would call mine Creeper. Always be
Pumpkin.
creeping.
Jiminy Cricket.
Someone said Jarvis. That's good. Solid.
Aww.
Alistair Whitford Covington IV. Then you're dead. Like,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah,
Alice
you're dead,
Whitford.
right.
We got Moneypenny.
Nice.
Ooh. What's his name? Alfred.
Matt's old fashioned.
Nice.
He's gonna go with Mother Star.
Star.
We got a
That
couple
feels
of
like it would
vowels.
take a really long time to say.
Skynet.
Star.
That's good.
Hey Bob. Mike going with the he's the guy that doesn't rename the characters in
BrainPal
RPG.
TM. He said BrainPal
Hey,
TM
Cloud.
every time.
Clippy.
Oh, hey, remember that time
Yeah.
when he sat?
Belvedere. Good one, Kent.
What would
Oh,
you
there
name
we go.
yours? It's the worst.
I'm super boring. I actually have no idea what I would name it. Something stupid like computer.
Oh, that's a good one.
'Cause it's
And
really-
then when deactivate, it would be leave me alone, creeper.
Yeah, I wonder if you could download other
Oh,
voice
computer.
packs. That would be hilarious. I would love that.
I'd be like Siri.
And I was like making sure that my phone didn't activate.
Oh, Clippy. I know. I just got a
Microsoft
Clippy
Word?
reference. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
That's good.
Alexa.
Yeah.
Got some thought here.
Grr.
Nice.
I haven't seen that show.
Oh, you need to. It's great.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, you need to. It's great.
Okay.
Adam, we'll watch it together.
All right.
Vader Zim.
So where were we?
I don't know. We got really sidetracked.
About
I love it.
Matt's.
Picard. That's a good one.
Call him Belvedere because he's a real pain in the balls. Matt
I
said that, not me.
Good
like
joke.
that, Vicky.
Good joke.
Okay, so Adrian Lamb said, if I understand correctly, the overpopulated countries send colonists, and Americans get super bodies and become soldiers once they turn 75. So does that mean there are no American colonists?
That's what we've been told.
Yeah, so I kind of had some trouble figuring that out. That the Pakistanis and Indians.
But that's also just what we've been told. And I'll be
Right.
honest, I don't know that I'm getting a real untrustworthy vibe from the CDF. So how can you
yeah.
believe anything? That
Whenever
they
we're
say?
saying CDF, I'm just thinking CDC because we hear CDC all the time.
No, I trust the CDC. I don't trust the CDF.
Yeah. So, okay, what about the 25% that don't die of the Americans? Like
Did you see-
they get human bodies back, not back, but they get new human bodies, and then they can go and help colonize. Is what my understanding
So there
was.
might be some Americans.
Or they reenlist.
that
Or they
way.
reenlist. You're right.
But this is sort of expanding on that to get more broad of the conversation, but like, because we haven't really talked about like the world of that this takes place in. Can I hear my dog drinking? That's super
Yes.
loud.
Yes, I can.
Sorry.
He's thirsty. He's a thirsty boy.
He's a violent drinker.
Okay, Beaty's been here the whole time. I'm very impressed.
But so like, because Justin mentioned it earlier, like the Earth seems like when I'm reading it, like it doesn't seem different from now. Like it's like there was nothing there. No, there weren't any
It's
flying
very
cars.
hard to pinpoint the time,
Mhm.
Yeah.
right? I thought it was like not far in the future. And then they were like, we've been doing this for the past 200 years. And I was like, when are we?
They have this beanstalk that's been around for a century,
Mhm.
and nobody knows how to recreate it or like.
Well, no one on Earth does.
No one on Earth does, but like you have like Earth, and then the Earth is like very like walled off or like whatever from what's going on out here. Like even the governments are trying to figure out how this works, and nobody really knows what the CDF is or does, and like we just assume that they're out there doing. We know that people are colonizing other planets, but we know nothing about like aliens or technology, and it's just like ignorant. And then you go up in this beanstalk, and then like.
Yeah, you learn all the things.
But
And eat all the good food.
So y'all already are touching on it. Katie Ellen said, could we talk about the questionable choices of the CDF? She was getting Ender's Game vibes to their plan, and I'm wondering how much everyone knew what they were going to fight for and the moral implications, etc.
So no spoilers for Ender's Game
Yeah, no
in
understand.
advance.
But you should all go read it.
You should
Adam,
definitely.
pick the comment that I'm pointing at.
You're pointing at Christy.
Chris?
I'm pointing at Matt Scalisi's comment.
This
Thank
one.
you, mate. Thank you. Yeah. I agree.
Yes, some social commentary from Matt Scalzi. Also using the word nay.
Oh, with
Nick.
punctuation, yes. Well, and
I believe it's pronounced me. Sorry.
but I mean that's a great thought. I mean, like you've got your Elon Musks of the world right now who are basically outsourcing tech to NASA. You know, like right now today, like what happens, you know, upon that wealth building, and who's to say someone doesn't eventually meet up with an alien race and get some sort of tech that would allow a group
He already
or
has a condo on the
person-
moon. You just know it.
Oh, right, but
Elon Musk already has a condo there. He already bought part of it.
But what what would that person find given their extreme wealth that would allow them to come back to Earth and basically do whatever they want, whether it's weaponry or whatever, and it just puts that gap that much further.
There's some layers there.
One of the things I thought really interesting was the quarantine on Earth. Like,
Yeah,
if-
that was
if
very
you-
timely.
if you leave, you can't come back. And it was all because of the crimp, where within 1 year, a third of the male population of Earth became infertile. And that's just fascinating to me.
That's a funny name for it, though.
The crimp, yeah.
We don't
That sounds
talk
like
about
that wasn't like the official name for it. That's what the
We don't
people
talk about
probably
Great Uncle
called it.
Joey. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's got the crimp.
But
Sorry
it
to everyone
also-
named Joey. That was the first thing that popped into my head.
It also kind of goes into the fact that, like, when you enlist, you're basically dead. Like, you revoke your citizenship to your country and your planet, and you are legally dead.
See, I thought that too. Thank you very much. So once again, not trusting the CDF in its entirety. When he like jumped back because he was like, "Ew, my body is still breathing."
Yeah,
Did you
So,
notice
like,
that was
he said-
creepy.
But the doctor even said, he said we store it in the short term. And then he didn't say anything after that. And that's what I feel like a ton of people in authority do. They give you half truths. So he said, yeah, we store it in the short term. He did not say what they do with it in the long term. He said it would die eventually if they didn't do anything. But I don't know.
More
It's
conspiracy
very
theories.
CBT.
Vicky, that's good.
They also might use it in the short term to get more samples for like the next model of like when after your 10 years, because you'll need a clone for that to go back to, because they have to give you one without all the military upgrades.
Yeah, but who's to say they don't just like also freeze it? And they're like, I don't know. What are you gonna do with it?
Maybe we'll find out in like book 4 or 5.
Yeah, but like
Maybe there's a purple
every time
model.
you bring up like not trusting the CDF, like it gives me like, again, I got like strong Men in Black vibes from like the whole like we erase your consciousness. I like to compare things to other things. The Men in Black with the erasing your consciousness, and I'm getting like a major Starship Troopers vibe from like the CDF and like that sort of propaganda, because Starship Troopers, and we talk about that for just a millisecond.
Yes.
Brilliant film because of it's actually like a parody of that like war propaganda. Like it's all posed as like this war propaganda movie. Like, do you want to know more? Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
What?
He was asking how many books. I was just telling him 6. 6 books total in the series. Go ahead.
I'm talking about the movie, not the book, because I never read the book Starship Troopers. But I'm getting some Starship Troopers vibes from this. I mean, we're out, we're in an army fighting aliens, which is basically what that is. But like the propaganda of the CDF is it's a little suspect. It's a little sus, as they would say.
Ew.
We can say that.
No, we can't. We're too old. I don't like it.
No, that's
Vibes.
that's what they say in Among Us, Talia. That's the word.
No, he's been doing this thing where he like enjoys speaking in such a way that it makes our teenage daughter very uncomfortable.
Oh well, that's your job, Lucas.
That and my mustaches.
So my brain is going to keep making those Starship Troopers connections, and I'm hoping that this book.
It's crunchy.
I mean, it is established. It is established. It is. It's doing its own thing. But like, I want it to really be its own thing.
You're Mike. That from someone who I know for a fact is a fan of Hydra. I'm watching you.
That's fair.
He loves Hydra.
I find that very sus, Mike. Mr. Cornelius.
Hey, we can't say sus. That's what the kids say.
Don't be sus. Don't be
But yeah, like I'm enjoying making the comparisons, and I still make the Red Rising comparison a little bit. But like,
there's definitely some Red Rising vibes here. Just it's the less serious. Hugo is the imposter. That's right.
He is not.
I appreciate some of that can borrow from a bunch of
Maybe.
sources and like craft something new out of it, and that's what I'm getting
Okay.
here too. What were you gonna say?
So my favorite part of the first half of the book by far is when they are with their drill sergeant. And Master Sergeant Reese, and he's figuring out what he doesn't like about everybody. And it had me laughing the whole time.
Oh, that was a fantastic moment.
Just the whole thing was so fun. And like even the very, very beginning, because you were talking about this earlier today, was it? Where like he's talking about like you all think that I'm like this because that's what you expect me to be like, but it's not. And it was funny because it was exactly what he was just thinking. He's like, this is exactly like the movies.
Yeah. And then he went through that whole speech and he's like, I dislike you, but I'm going to dislike you individually. And I'm going to find out everything about you. And then he finally gets down to John and he's like, what are you? And he's like, I'm a writer. I bet you write fiction, don't you? No, actually I write advertisements. Oh, what do you write? Willy Wheelie. He's like,
oh my God.
And he had
The tattoo was hilarious.
It was ridiculous, but it was so much fun.
But he's such a stereotype.
Like if you're gonna make the main character a platoon leader, that's the best way that you're gonna do it.
Yeah, that was good. Solid.
Yes.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite moments. That and again when they were like, what did you name your brain pal?
Oh yeah. And I also loved the breakfast. Like, first of all, it made me really hungry, but also like it was hilarious how the teacher was it Thomas? Thomas. No, so excuse me. He used to be a doctor, and every single time anyone would come to the table with a plate full of food, he would basically shame them until he gave them food, and it was hilarious.
It's like that's gonna kill you.
With that on a very personal level. That is how I make all of my friends. He's like, what did you order? That looks great.
Yeah, we haven't been to Waffle House in 9 months, and it's killing me.
I loved the old farts, though. I did.
That loved. Was nice.
Hey, Master Sergeant. He could have been, one of the sexier greens.
I did love Master Sergeant and his last, still staying true to the stereotype to the very end at the last bit where he's like, go up there, be great. Just a reminder, you're still a dipshit like everybody else, but just a little bit less of one, I guess. Maybe I don't care. I don't really like you. Bye.
Yeah, that was amazing. Yeah, the Master Sergeant is a great character, even if he's like super stereotypical.
They broke it enough. They broke it enough to make it fun. He played around with stereotypes to.
I feel like everybody did, right? Who didn't? Who didn't hear it in the voice? I did. I heard it.
I heard it in the voice.
I was really curious to see, like, I wanted to see what Maggie looks like because the way they described her as like.
It hurt to look at her. She was so beautiful.
Yeah.
She was a goddess.
Like everybody's super attractive. Right?
He's like, I'm the ugliest one of the bunch, and I'm still really good looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does that even look like? I can't.
But it's so funny, though, that they can still recognize themselves, though. So it's just true to form that they took. These people still obviously were able to recognize themselves, though. Like, so it's not like they changed dramatically. Everyone was just some perception of being a more attractive version of themselves while still looking like themselves. So I appreciated that.
Have like a program or a website or something that's like, what does your sexy green person look like? And then it's like, submit your picture and we'll sexy greenify you. And old man's
do that. Why would you do that? Like,
I want to know because I can't conceive of what that would
want to hurt your own feelings.
Like the guy still wouldn't have a chin.
No, see, I've done this because they have that whole like face app thing where you can make yourself look older and younger, or like the male version of yourself or the female version of yourself. And I did the female version of myself, and I'm already a female, by the way. And then I hit the feminine version of myself, and she was so much prettier, and I was really mad, and I deleted the app immediately. It was rude. It's real rude. I highly recommend no one do that.
There's got to be some fun fan art Matt, to that comment on
Yeah,
there.
there's sex books out now. Like I
Oh.
feel like there's
there's Rule 34 exists.
yeah.
What's that?
What's Rule 34?
What?
What's
if
Rule
it
34?
Google it.
If it
No, don't you dare! Don't put that on the home device.
If it
No.
exists, there's a porn version of it on the internet. It's
Oh,
basically Rule
ew.
34.
I don't like that rule.
There's 33 other rules.
Couple of other things that came up in the discussion topics post. So Katie Doll said, I like how they mentioned that the humans on different planets are already diverging genetically. I feel like most sci-fi doesn't usually address that.
Oh yeah, that was neat.
Yeah, well, genetically and linguistically, right?
Although actually, Star Trek acknowledges it.
Oh my goodness.
In the
When is
Next
that,
Generation.
like 5 now?
Yeah, drink up.
5?
Y'all are probably dead by now. But in the
I
Next
love it.
Generation, there was a good thing where like the humans and the Klingons and the Romulans, they were all searching for this artifact thing, and they found it, and it was this message that says like, you all basically came from the same DNA. It's just been so long, and you've been on different parts of the galaxy that like you've evolved to be your own separate things. So it's a Star Trek. Star Trek. did it.
Well, then nobody but Star Trek has addressed it. So it's pretty cool that this book did.
Genetic drift, says Richard. Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Sorry,
Yeah.
someone pointed it out, and now I like it that your dog and our cat, their faces are almost touching.
Don't tell him that. He'll freak out.
Yeah, he would be very upset.
I'm pretty sure our cat could take your dog.
Oh,
Only the-
yeah. No,
Not the rest of
he's-
them. This one's very scary.
Oh, your cat could definitely take him.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if just the air can take him.
Like a leaf can float by and
Yeah.
he'll freak out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a problem.
Aw.
Yeah,
Sorry,
it's
my
sad.
dog. We're-
This is our guard cat. Like when people come drop off packages, he like growls under his breath and goes to like look out the window. It's terrifying.
Mhm.
Chris, I'll look up the episode and I'll share it with you. It's a fascinating thing. But I'm
Ooh, I
glad
like
that
Victoria's idea.
Scalzi's acknowledging it here too, because we're sort of at the beginning of that.
Victoria, book club bingo card. I like
It's
that.
basically
What
just
if we made it a
Adam
book
says Star
club,
Trek.
a
Adam
book
says
club
Ghostbusters.
drinking card, and then we could make like a little square, and it's like bingo, except it's just a drinking game since we're literally wasted.
I hear the cat in the sink.
That's a
That's
good
not
pickup
this
line.
one. Oh, that doesn't sound appealing though to me. Like I instantly read that in a negative voice
Do you have any ibuprofen?
because it
It
hurts to
hurts
look
to
at
look.
you.
It's you.
Okay, going back to the book though. What did y'all think about a cliffhanger at the end of every single chapter?
I'm okay with it.
I feel like I
Oh, yeah.
finished every chapter like, what?
Oh, really?
And then I like made a note, yes.
I like it.
I didn't realize that. I think I read through it so fast that there were no cliffhangers because I just kept
I'm
reading.
also used to it because I think the Expanse books do this pretty
No,
much
that's
at the
fair.
end of every
They
chapter,
do.
and that it like helps me to keep reading. And we've read some books that just each chapter concluded, or like the next chapter would be like a completely different timeline or something
Mhm.
like that. But I like having a little nugget to like keep me moving on to the next chapter. That's just me. Aaron's fine with it.
Julie, I like where you're going with this. We need our
A
own
literally
book
wasted
club.
trademark it.
To
Yeah.
Dan Brown.
Wait, explain how? In what
Yeah.
way?
I haven't ever read Dan Brown.
Cliffhangers. I read
who's Dan Brown?
Dan Brown's the
Da Vinci Code guy.
Oh, I didn't read that.
I read the second one. I enjoyed it. It was fun.
The Da Vinci Code Part 2.
Yeah, whatever the one he's in Rome and
I didn't
so-
read it.
something.
Any of them.
It's like a papacy conspiracy.
Oh, Katie, that's how you know it's a good book.
Yeah.
Although I can't have almost every book makes me stay up past my bedtime.
So, I mean, Matt said this is the fastest he's read, 150 pages. Yeah, this went by super fast.
Yep.
Yeah, it was an easy read.
So, Kathy.
I knew every word. It was refreshing. And I understood like the order that they were in.
Even the crochet or whatever word.
Yeah, that was a weird word to
I
just
did
throw in
Google
there.
that one.
Yeah, I googled it and it still didn't make sense.
Well, because they're using it in a different way than our dictionary has it.
Oh, well, fine, future. Take your words and do different things with them. Nikki didn't notice cliffhangers, just kept reading. Amber says, cliffhangers keep me going.
Yeah.
On the cliffhangers read at lunch, I had a couple of oh crap moments when I had to stop reading, go back to work. Yeah, like I had to like force myself to stop. I read this in like two different or three different sittings, just because like I'd trying to fit it in here and there. Yeah, see that's
Yeah.
what I saw, and when I looked it up, and I
That's
was
what
like,
we
that makes
found,
no
yeah.
sense.
So it just
But,
means like a cradle. I will say if you got the hardcover mini book, which is like super cute, like it's like smaller than my face. That made the reading also feel super fast because you're literally just holding the book in like one little hand, and you're like, look how tiny the little pages are, and it was really fun to read. I don't think I've ever read a book this small before, but that made it feel faster. The size.
Apparently, it's pronounced creche.
Creche.
Thanks, I did not know that.
He
I
writes
had
in
just
first person, but does not
say it out loud.
read as first person for me. That's very nice to find, as the read is very easy and entertaining. Yeah, it's not too. I mean, it is. You're in his head, and I appreciate it. Especially his little parentheticals here and there. But
So Vicky says, I noticed no one is complaining about too many characters, unlike other books. I wonder if that's because the focus right now, all we really care about, even it still focuses mostly on him. The stories like within, even though right now it's just like him and Alan, but even then, like we only check in on Alan every now and then. Right now, like already it's become a very solitary experience. But I will say, when it was all of the old farts, I didn't know who anybody's name was.
Yeah, I made a list of who they were and what their professions were and who their roommates were because I just jumbled them all up.
it was difficult to keep track of them. What book did we complain about having too many characters?
I don't know. Probably. I mean, we complain about a lot of things that could have come up at any point.
I can't remember.
We drink and complain about books. What do you want here?
It's like it's our second job.
Yeah, I
We
feel
don't
like
get paid for.
I feel like this book should have been in giant super large print because that would have been hilarious.
That would have been really funny.
That would have been funny.
Easy accessibility.
But then as soon as they get sucked into their green avatar bodies, the font gets very small.
It's a gift.
Yeah, she'd be lucky. She's the only person who actually remembers every single person who's in this book club.
Sver,
Sorry.
we did this together. You were
Oh yeah, you were instrumental.
you were a champion of this book,
Yeah.
and you helped make this happen. So we're like a couple minutes out from the hour. Do we want to do some summaries of what we think, as if we haven't already, and then do some announcements?
I'm really enjoying this book. I think it's a ton of fun. I'm really anxious to see where it's going to fall at the end in terms of it's right now it's skewing towards the top of my list of all the books that we've read. And so I'm really interested to see where it kind of ends up. But yeah, I'm excited to finish it. And right now, if I had to say, I would read on, but guess what? My track record for reading on for all these is nothing. So we'll see.
Zero. It is.
I have the
zero.
intention.
That I'm gonna make you read the second book in the Wolf trilogy of the holiday break.
Really quick, I don't actually have a spreadsheet of all the members of book club, and I just want to throw that out there. That was totally a joke.
You don't?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. When I said
do-
that, I was definitely being sarcastic.
I mean, yeah,
There's
I'll
one
consider
coming,
it,
probably.
but
Yeah.
at the
I
current
to assume
moment,
that about 58% of what comes out of my mouth is
I
sarcastic.
feel like
so-
if you cross-reference some of Christy's spreadsheets, you might end up with a list of people in the book
you don't have
club.
to do that. It's fine.
She's got so many spreadsheets. What?
Okay.
Oh.
So, yes, enjoying it. Super fun. Not gonna lie, don't have a huge emotional connection to the book, but I'm fine with that right now. I'm still really enjoying it. It's just like a fun, nice, easy read. It's honestly so much more of an easy read than I thought sci-fi could be for me. So nice.
Stacey, you've been quiet. We'd love to hear why you're not enjoying it. We're not going to.
Oh yeah, tell us.
That's cool.
No, No, I
Because
want to know why.
Talia's like on the fence here. So
No, I just like it's fun, but it's like also.
I heard that you hated it.
I will say this: if
Sally
like
hates
my
it.
dog ate this book, which he would never do because he's a very good boy, where is he? I wouldn't be like in a rush to order like another copy. I'd be like, oh, I'll get to that, but then honestly, I might start reading something else and then I might forget. But it's fun. It is very popcorny, and sometimes I like popcorn.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it hurts my teeth.
Yes,
I'm hungry.
I'm too.
Okay,
So
sorry.
we got a few announcements.
Or you didn't say your thing.
Wait, what were we
Oh,
doing?
Saying
You
I
like the book?
Oh yeah, I'm loving the book, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna just read the whole series.
All right.
But we'll see.
But I
Can
want to
change
know.
it.
But yes. Oh, and attached to that. I'm so sorry. But if you are like Christy and you're going to read the rest of the series, the copies that I added to Amazon, some of them were harder to find in hardcover and paperback. So I just added all of the mass market paperbacks, and it's literally like $8 or $9 for the rest of the books and the rest of the series. So I put those in the book of the month category.
I will say I already looked up the rest of the books on my library app, and none of them, they're not available like digitally, which makes me really sad. It's just the first one.
Yeah, they were harder to find. I was kind of bummed because I was like, oh, this is so cute. I'd love to get the rest in hardcover, and I don't think that's an option.
So Jeff teasing the second half better than the first. Okay.
Okay.
I would say that I'm really enjoying this. It is light. It's pop. So far it's not. I mean, it's not the lightest book. It's not Kill the Farm Boy for sure, but it's light enough that I can. that I'm into it. I'm having a good time reading it. Am I? Could I be more invested in like the world and the characters? Probably, yes, I think so. And I'm hoping that finishing the book will allow me to really connect with these people and the situation and want to read more. So far, like I would, if I was one of those people that, hey, look, if I was more of a reader and I did read on, I would definitely do it. If we didn't have to read one book a month, But
That's a great point.
yeah, like I'm not disappointed in forcing us to read this so far. I'm
just strongly encouraging,
yeah,
not forcing.
I'm really enjoying this book. And
Matt says he finds it surprising that Denny's is still in business several hundred years in the future. That's a great point. I did love that little joke. It's like it's the largest.
It's not the future though. Maybe it's now. So announcements.
Yes.
So this is a new thing for us this year in our second year of
because y'all suggested it.
Yeah,
it's your fault.
But we set up a Secret Santa on Elfster. It looks like this. I'll post the link in the comments, and we'll post it in the Literally Wasted Lounge for you to sign up. But yeah, so what basically it's really easy on Elfster. What you do is you just go and you sign up, and then when everybody's signed up, the last day to sign up is Friday, November 27th. It's the Friday after the second live discussion. Oh no. I tried to post a comment and it said no thanks. It said, we're not going to do that for you. I'll try it again. But
we can post it in the group later and pin it
in the group too. But you just go sign up, and by November 27th or through November 27th, and then at the end it'll pair you with somebody. And since this is a book club, I'm thinking we either do books or book themed gifts. So if you're not sure like what somebody has book wise or what to get somebody book wise, just something fun, some fun booky, like something the book people would enjoy.
Julie Turner Wheeler asks, can it be any genre, not just sci-fi fantasy?
Yeah. And I guess what I usually do for stuff like this is I gift my favorite book.
Yeah.
So wink, wink, whoever. Yeah, I'd love to know what your favorite book is.
So there's actually some questions that you can answer in the Secret Santa. Like, what are some of your favorite books, and what's something you've always wanted to read but haven't yet? So there, I think I got it in the.
Yeah, Aaron said you got it.
It's probably just because I was trying to post it to YouTube too.
Oh, I see it. I see it there and on YouTube.
Oh, it's on both? Oh, well, I just posted it again on YouTube. Sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's their choice.
Handmade gifts are fine. we've set like a $15 limit. Just we don't want we don't want you to have to spend too much money on this. This is just something fun for us to do.
Vicky,
Yeah, no
you're super
pressure.
creative. Like like you do all
Yeah,
sorts
for
of
those
cool
of y'all
stuff.
who don't know, Vicky's like an insane artist.
Yeah. So like if you don't want to spend any money and just make something, that's cool too. This is just a fun little gift exchange for the members of the Lit fam. Get to know somebody, get to share something with somebody that maybe they haven't experienced or whatever. So the link to the sign up I just posted in the comments. But we'll also post it in the Literarily Wasted Lounge. Also, just a note, if you get paired with Literarily Wasted, that's me.
We'll make a note about that in the lounge.
Yeah. So,
So you can't go wrong with a Star Trek book.
That's true.
oh, you definitely can't. But yeah, so we're gonna try it. We'll see how it goes. But there it is. That's what it looks like. Pretty easy. We've got 3 participating. That's me, Lucas, and Christy. Talia has not signed up yet.
I had a busy day.
Mhm.
No, I didn't. I was watching Gilmore
watching
Girls. I'll do it later.
Hey, that counts.
So, but yeah,
It does.
That'll be fun. Good job, Adam.
it'll be fun. We'll see what happens.
And thank you. I can't remember who suggested it, but like one of y'all suggested Elfster, and
Yeah.
it was a great suggestion.
Oh yeah, put it on the website too. We'll put it on the website.
Yeah, we can put it on the website.
Says Mike.
Pew, 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 pew.
But yeah, if you sign up, you can sign up if you want to. It's not a requirement, but it could be fun. So
What else we got?
Dun, 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 dun,
It's
dun.
official.
we are going from popcorn sci-fi to hard sci-fi.
I'm nervous.
It's hard.
I'm nervous.
Why are you
Yeah, there's
nervous?
some mixed reviews on the
It doesn't look that big, but the pages are really thin. It's like a Bible. It's very heavy.
But y'all wanted this, like, Christy, we had another option in the poll, but Christy was like, this is overwhelmingly recommended. This is also a second chance
So I got a sticker on the back.
poll option.
Yeah, this was
Um,
part of our first poll actually, and it did not get picked. We picked Wool over Dune.
And the good news is you have 2 months to read it.
Mhm.
Oh, thank goodness.
So that's why we picked a big book for 2 months. So you have through December and January. We'll post the schedule for the live discussion soon. We're still trying to figure out how exactly we want to do that.
Yeah.
But it'll be fun. And don't worry, we'll get through it together. I think this will be a
Dun, 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 dun.
This is you're not reading it alone. If this is intimidating for anybody, like it's classic sci-fi. I feel like it's probably a must read. I've never read it, but I
It's
own
got
it.
40 pages of appendices.
Well, and I read
Let's not
this
scare people. Come on.
back in
But I'm being
2013,
honest.
and I loved it. So, and I don't remember much about it, so I'm excited to reread it. But I really did enjoy it.
That's fine. I lied. It only has 22 pages. So that's okay.
Matt says I'm as stoked about Dune as Adam was about Old Man Horse. So there's like some
Yay.
genuine excitement about it. And I feel like it's time that we read. So I'm not mad about it. I'm excited. I own this book and I should have read it a long time ago, but just never did. But and Jeff says that it could be a struggle, but we'll get through it. We're reading it together. So if you have any, if you're reading it and things may be too dense or whatever, Literarily Wasted Lounge is a great place for you to go and just post about it. And I'm sure that we have people like Jeff and Scott or whoever who've read it like a bunch. Who'll
I
help
need
you
an
out.
accountability partner. Does someone volunteer to mail me a cookie
have
after
an
I finish every chapter?
Group here.
Yeah, we're all your accountability partners.
So there definitely will not be 4 discussions. There's either going to be 2 or 3. We're still deciding on what makes the most sense for everybody.
Because the holidays be crazy.
They do.
See, Dune, helping people get married.
Excellent. It reminds me of our first date, but Ghostbusters instead of Dune.
Yeah, basically, I just sat down in front of Christy and did the movie for her, and she was like, "Well, we're getting married." But yeah, Dune is exciting. That'll be December and January's book, and again, we'll post the discussion dates when we figure that out.
And we're probably going to have a December non-live discussion, but a live
Chill.
party-ish.
A live hangout.
Yes,
Oh yeah, y'all did. The Lives of Locke Lamora is great, and you should all read it.
that's
It's on my
Christy,
bookshelf.
Chrissy's #1 book right there.
Look, all of our
really
picks are solid.
It's real.
That's my go-to gift, actually.
So if you
Yeah,
get
Chrissy gave me that copy.
Santa,
There's a real good chance you're getting the Lies of Locke Lamora, but maybe not now that I just told you
hey,
all.
when April comes around, it's Chrissy's birthday month. It's just going to be like one book. Just prepare yourself.
Nah, y'all get a choice, but it's really good.
But yeah, so Dune, it's going to happen. Let's get excited about it.
A couple
Y'all
other
overwhelmingly voted for it.
Yeah.
If you ordered your T-shirt, your limited edition founding member T-shirt, we got some updates today from our screen printer. And look, it's legit. Like, he is custom mixing colors to hit our Pantone colors and everything. Sent us pictures of the plate, so
It's gonna be pretty.
it's going to be really pretty, high quality. If you missed out, I'm sorry, but you missed out. But we will be discussing after we send everything out and get this done what we're going to be doing in the future for more merch. So that's coming, and we really are hoping that early December you're going to have those in the mail, if not sooner. Next week, next Wednesday night, same time, 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern, we're going to be doing this guy, The Cave of Time, for Adventures in Reading. So join us then. I will post an invite and make an event for that. And if you haven't already, there's a pinned post. We're going to leave it up. It's an author survey. So if you have any interest in writing, whether you've written or you've not written, or you want to branch out and you want to experiment, we have compiled, guys, almost 50 people. It's amazing. Like 50 people have reached out to us saying, hey, I have interest in writing. It's a quick little survey via Google. And so go fill that out. If you have any interest, we've got a ton of ideas, and we're really hoping, no promises yet, but we're hoping in early 2021 that we will have some sort of project. And that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, we're trying. That's the fun part about expanding, is we're going to try a bunch of stuff.
Yep.
I just want to call out Hero in the comments, who threatened to send me a raisin cookie.
I will eat the raisin cookie.
Those aren't cookies. If it has raisins in it, it's granola.
It's a delicious
Ugh.
oatmeal cookie.
It's not a cookie.
I think that was
It
it.
might as well
Did
be
we
a
have any
health
other
bar.
announcements? Shirts, book, other
Shirts, book,
other
other
book.
book.
This book.
I feel like
Next
that's it.
live discussion is the day
live
before
discussion.
Thanksgiving.
What?
Yes.
What?
You're not going anywhere, so it doesn't matter.
Nope, I'm taking the whole week off. But yeah, the day before Thanksgiving, we'll have Lit Fam Thanksgiving, where we discuss the end of
Everybody wear your
It's gonna
turkey
be fun.
pants.
It's
Old
been fun.
Man's War. Bring your turkey and your green bean casserole.
If you like gaming too, we are playing Hollow Knight in our game club. We have the Geekward Game Club. This is really fun. I'm enjoying it. It's a little tough, but come check us out if you want to do the same thing but with video games.
It's a good time.
Yeah, I just noticed there's tiny little people at the bottom.
Laura Hicks, she asked if we're interested in reading, but might have to bow out. Can we still sign up? You absolutely can. This is just to get an idea of like who is interested, and then
I'm interested in
you'll
writing. Yeah.
still get an opportunity to actually
Yeah.
participate or not when we do stuff.
And we may start kind of small, so just keep that in mind. We're very aware of everyone's time, and we're not going to write some epic thing right off the bat. So we want it to be fun, and we want to involve as many people as we can. But no, guys, like almost 50 people. I don't know what it's gonna be, but we're gonna do something.
It's gonna be a
Probably
party.
the greatest book ever written.
We have
Look,
some ideas,
we have
some thoughts.
ideas. So
Uh,
anyway,
I am with these sentiments on raisin cookies, by the way. Raisins, disgusting.
if you've never had a really great oatmeal raisin cookie, you have.
I don't want an old, wrinkly, chewy grape.
It really just breaks the
Grape
flow of the
jerky.
chew.
You can,
It's
if you
fruit
get me
jerky.
if you get me on Elfster, you can send me some oatmeal cookies in lieu of a book, and I will be just fine. I'll be
My
happy.
mom makes
No,
oatmeal
it's a
raisin
free.
cookies when she doesn't want to eat cookies. Like she's like, I'm gonna make cookies, but I don't want to eat them. I'm gonna make raisin cookies.
Better put some raisins in it.
Yep, it's evil.
Okay. Hero says more Twitch streaming. Yeah, we've.
Oh, we
fallen
need to get back on that.
apart a little bit. Things have been crazy for both Adam and myself, so we will definitely
Your
get back on.
twin, the traitor.
Oh gosh, I can't believe I share the same DNA as this person.
You would.
Oatmeal raisin cookies are disgusting. On that note,
Yeah,
I think
it's time. I
wrap it
think.
up.
Yeah.
Old Man's
Yeah,
War is super fun to talk about. It's super fun to read. I can't wait to read the second half. If you didn't like it, maybe you stick with it. Maybe we can talk about why you didn't like it at the end of this.
Yeah, I'd love to know.
Yeah.
You make my heart happy. So you rock. But thank you to everybody for joining us tonight. This is always the best times that we have.
It's one of my 2 favorite days every month.
Yeah. So we'll see you the day before Thanksgiving, and we'll also see you in the lounge. And happy
next
reading.
week.
And next week.
Yeah.
For that guy.
So,
You could wear your turkey pants then too if you want.
yeah. Bye, everybody.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.